Can I ask you a question really quick? Okay. Is your business actually built around the life that you want, or is it built around the business you just happen to have already started? I'm asking because they're not the same thing. And most people don't realize that their business is becoming the second one. That is until they all of a sudden feel stuck or overwhelmed, unclear, unsure, and worst of all, sometimes they don't realize until they start regretting the thing that used to light them up. Somewhere along the way, the business stopped being intentional and started being reactive. And today, I want to talk about how this happens and how to shift back before you build a business that doesn't fit your life. Welcome back to the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Heather Blake. So this seems to be coming up a lot. I keep seeing people posting on Instagram and on communities that I'm involved in, both on Facebook and school, about people feeling like they're in this overwhelmed rat race. And I think there was this culture for a while that started creating this, and now we're all realizing that there's fallout from this. So, first of all, let's say I know that none of us have ever intentionally built a business that makes us feel trapped. We built our business with good intentions. We wanted flexibility. We wanted more income or to replace our income. We wanted to build something of our own that we could be proud of, something we could show our children, look, we put in the work and we built something that we love. You can do the same. But somewhere along the way, unfortunately, some people started this way and some people just drifted there. But we started saying yes to everything. We started following what works instead of what fit. We built around the opportunity and not around alignment. This is because we were so worried about making our business successful that we started saying yes to things regardless if it was the actual business we intended to build. Sometimes we have good intentions, but we don't actually create a plan. And other times we create a plan, but somewhere along the way, we just stop following it. So there's two ways of building this business. You can do it by design, which is with intention, or you can build it by default, where it's basically reactive. By default would be like, I started this, people started paying me, so I kept going. By design is I choose this because it fits the life I want to live. And just because something works doesn't mean it fits you. So you might be in a default business where you are making income. You are selling to your clients, you are selling to people, but you don't enjoy this business. It's causing you to live a life that's not what you intended. And it basically defeats the whole purpose of starting your own business in the first place, besides maybe the income. So let's go over a few signs that you built something that is not what you intended to build. You feel busy, but not fulfilled, right? You're going from client to client, but it doesn't fulfill you. Your schedule feels heavy or chaotic. Like you didn't schedule times. It's happening whenever it happens. Little here, little there, a lot here, a lot there, and barely any time for you and what you want. Sometimes you start avoiding parts of your business, either completely altogether or you acknowledge it but just don't want to touch it. You start making decisions on what you should do and not necessarily what feels aligned. So well, this guru, this business owner who's on Instagram making $1 million a month says I need to post on Instagram 4 times a day. So I must post on Instagram 4 times a day. Well, if that's not aligned with you, then it will bring you to a point of overwhelm and exhaustion and feeling unaligned and even resentment. Then the most important one, you haven't stopped to ask yourself what you want in your business or in your life lately. You are on that hamster wheel that just keeps going. Just like my daughter's little hamster Cookie. Every night, he's on that wheel running. You're maintaining that business. You're not building it. So I just want to say, you didn't mess up. You're not doing it wrong. This is just part of the process. This is part of your journey on how to figure out and how to build a business that is right for you. And now you see it. You are aware. And that makes this powerful. This moment is powerful because once you become aware, you're able to start moving and shifting your business to the direction you want to go in. I think it's AA where they say the first step is admitting that you have a problem. And that's because you have to become aware. You have to acknowledge it. And that's what we're doing right here. You are now aware of this issue. And now you have all the power. You're allowed to outgrow the business that you happen to have created and turn it into the version that you want it to be. Now let's think about this. Let's talk about a girl who has a business. We'll call her DJ. She has a dog walking business. Now, DJ decided in her spare time, when her kids were at school, I guess there's not really spare time when you have kids, but while her kids were at school, she was going to start a dog walking business. She started in her neighborhood, and then word of mouth got around, and she started taking clients all over the place. A client here, a client there. Sometimes she's driving a bit to get to a client. Other times, it's just a quick little walk to where she needs to go. One client's like, well, I can't afford your monthly price, but if we can just do this many walks, maybe we can fit it in and you can reduce your price. And, she starts saying yes. Yeah, that works. I need the income. But she starts getting burned out. She's traveling all over. There's no system to what she's doing. She's just dog walking here and dog walking there at this time and that time, and it doesn't matter. She doesn't have any time for herself because when she's done walking the dogs, she goes and gets her kid off the buses from school. So how does she shift? Well, she starts doing this more intentionally. She might take fewer clients or raise her prices or get an online system. I've actually talked about it before, booking Koala. That's an option. There's lots of ways of doing it, but she can use an online system to start booking the clients. And maybe she has certain days for certain areas. On Tuesdays, she's in this area in South County. And on Wednesday, she's in North County. And Thursday, she's off. Fridays, she only accepts clients in the morning, and that's in the central area near where she lives. So that's a great way. She's sectioned it. She's blocked the time. She's put time for herself. She has created that system of online bookings so that way she doesn't have to take that time. That frees her up a little bit. She's charging people a little bit more. So the people that she has to travel to, they're paying a little more premium of a fee. Maybe she's taking on some fewer clients that aren't within her area that she actually services or wants to service because it means traveling too far and not being able to, book clients closer to her. Same small business, same skills, different structure, and she's creating a different life for herself. So how do you move away from that? So this is your homework for the week from the podcast. I want you to take a look at your life. There goes that dog. Start with your life. What do you actually want your days to look like? Where do you want to spend your time, your energy, and where do you need flexibility? Are you going to block certain days so they're off limits or where you're home? Are you willing to be flexible in some areas, or do you need flexibility in some areas? Then I want you to think about that and figure out how to shape your business to fit that. What offers fit that life? What offers do not fit that life? If you are a one-on-one coach and you spend all your days working one-on-one with clients, is that feasible for your life? Or should you be transitioning to a group program? Or do you want to do online pre-recorded classes and maybe some digital products with it? You've got to think about what works for you. Let's say you have a physical product and you are making candles. Does the candle making process for the elaborate candles you want to make or you are making, does that fit into your life, or do you need to create a system or scale back how elaborate they are in order to fit your life? Do you need to maybe package them in bulk or in gift baskets so you can get a higher price so you don't have to sell as many? Now, the third step is I want you to make some small adjustments. You do not have to completely scrap your business and start over. You just need to take one little step. How could I move towards what I want to build and move away from the overwhelm, the confusion, all of that? This is the biggest part of the homework. I want you to set a boundary. I will not book clients on Thursday or something like that. I will not accept any clients under a specific price point. Or I will not accept calls to book. People must do it through my website. And then I want you to start thinking about how you can shift that offer to from what doesn't work for you to what does work for you. And the last one, I want you to say no to something. So if someone calls you and you just said, I am going to only book online, and someone calls you, no, I'm sorry, I no longer book via call. You need to go to my website. This is how you do this. And that's it. You're not going to do it anymore. You said no. So let's refer to this like a house. I do not want you burning down the entire house. The house has good bones. The structure is great, but the functionality is a little lacking. You're not going to rebuild the entire house. Maybe you'll just start with the kitchen. When you're by the sink, you can't get to the dishwasher. Or when you open the stove, it smashes into the refrigerator door. So you're going to re-lay out the kitchen. So now you can open the stove and the fridge at the same time. You can grab what you need and get to the oven. Okay? You're making a small renovation. You are not fully gutting your house and rebuilding. I hope that analogy makes sense to you. Just know, do not burn down the house. Do not burn down your business. Just start moving towards realignment in small baby steps. Your business needs to support your life, not compete with it. Your business needs to support your life and not compete with it. And if you've been feeling a little off lately, this might not be a motivation issue. Sometimes that's what we think it is. Oh, I just don't have the motivation. But it might be that it's just a misalignment problem. If this made you think a little differently about your business, let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I'll see you next week on the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast.